is. Superman! Superman! Can we ask you a few questions? It's for an intro to a shitty vlog that only gets like less than 100 views.
Well, in that case, shoot away.
So, how many of these people have you saved? Shut up! Does your S stand for shitty CGI?
It stands for hope. Learn how to spell, you stupid kid.
How big's your cock?
Ask your mom.
What's the best thing about Chick-fil-A's waffle fries?
You did this.
I had to.
You won't let me live. You won't let me die.
The world needs you.
Damn right it does, Skipper. Tell me, do you bleed?
Hello everyone, I'm back with a new episode of SlappyVlog. Boy oh boy, have I wanted to do this again. I know it's been way too long since my last episode. I mentioned this several times in the past, but I'll mention this here for anybody who didn't know. Back around June of last year, I tore my left shoulder blade and had to spend the next 4 to 5 months unable to do anything. Yeah, for the longest time I had no idea what the problem was, and it straight up destroyed the rest of my plans for 2017. When it finally healed, I needed to try and catch up on so many projects that were supposed to have been done last year. It looks like for the most part, things are getting back to normal. The injury did a lot of damage to me in more ways than one. But like I said, everything seems fine now, and I'm going to try and be a little more careful this time around. Oh yeah, here's a timestamp for anybody who wants to skip over to the second part of the show. So let's get into the episode. Zoe is here with me today.
Hi, Internet.
Are you excited for today's episode?
Sure am. I'm so glad to see so many people wanting to see more of me.
Yes, hopefully there will be more of you later on this year.
And I can introduce everyone to my friend, Anita.
So you're the little green bloke who's been drawing all those dirty pictures, eh? I told Zoe, I think your stuff is too kiddie and such with all the colours and have you. Maybe you could try some more heavier junk for the lady like me. Have some more men in there tearing up some gash, you know? And put in some whips with... But hey, those are just some of the ideas I fancy seeing.
So you guys want to shower together?
Not now! I mean, the show is already gonna be too long. I'll call you when I need you. So before I get into the main theme of the show, I want to make a rant on a certain website that decided to play moral hero over the last few months. So consider this a third installment of bad website practices. I'm talking about Tumblr. Now, as much as I hate what Tumblr has done and currently does, I personally don't have a big issue with the site. I tend to just stick to my own personal stuff when I'm there so I don't stumble upon the other major problems so many other people have already pointed out. However, over the last few months, Tumblr has been cracking down on artists who draw characters they think could be underage. Now let me first say, I do not support pedophilia. I think sexual abuse of a child is horrible, and you are a terrible person who needs help if you have strong urges to have sex with real kids. Now that being said, we need to separate the real from the fake. Touching underage kids in the real world is horrible. Even if the kid is dumb enough to quote-unquote consent, it's still illegal and shouldn't be happening. But that's a real person who exists in society. That kid has feelings, rights, a conscience. But when it comes to drawings, there is no age, there is no morals. Hell, there isn't even fucking logic in drawings. You're just moving inks and colors around in the shape of whatever you want it to be. If that drawing had feelings and a conscience, then Shadman would be in jail a long time ago. So if an artist wants to stretch the boundaries of what's right and what's wrong in a drawing, then whatever, that's their situation. Dora the Explorer does not exist. You may not like it if someone was to draw some Rule 34 of her, but at the end of the day, the only person who is getting hurt by the drawing is the viewer who is offended by it. Let me give you a history lesson. Back in 1884, An artist by the name of John Singer Sargent painted this picture of Madame Pierre Gautreau and showed it off to the public in Paris, France. When he did this, the public outcry and distaste for this painting was massive. This picture was seen as vulgar, sick, and just inappropriate for a woman like Madame Pierre. This picture was so disgusting back in those days that John Singer Sargent had to flee Paris and move to London in order to try and start a new life for himself. Now, as you can see, this picture has nothing wrong with it, but it shows that the only people who were hurt by this picture were the people who took offense to it. That and maybe John Singer Sargent. So that seems to be the case in today's age of digital paintings. An artist will draw something that overall looks really good, but if it offends the right kind of people, then that artist needs to be punished and shunned from society. What a horrible garbage human that guy must be, drawing Gwen Tennyson giving someone a foot job. That person needs to have his hands chopped off and thrown into a fire. It's just ridiculous. Now coming back to Tumblr on all of this. Sometime last year, Tumblr decided to play moral superhero and started banning a lot of erotic artists from its platform, while hiding many others with a safe mode filter. I ended up being one of the not so lucky ones and got my account terminated. Luckily it wasn't a flat out ban like for Infinity, and I was able to make a new account. Now let's look at the reason for this. I saved the email they gave me when they terminated me.
Tumblr trust and safety.
Yeah, trust and safety. Gotta protect those snowflakes from melting.
June 8th, 9:51 a.m.
Around the same time my shoulder injury happened. Thanks for putting salt on the wound, Tumblr.
Hello, we've terminated your Tumblr account. As per the policies you agreed to when creating a Tumblr account, we do not allow inappropriate content involving or depicting minors on Tumblr.
Okay, what was it? What picture or pictures did I draw that involved inappropriate content with a minor? Was it Steve Smith? That must be it, seeing how I drew him a lot with the MILF Party comic I made around that time. That's the only example I can think of a person they may think could be underage. But you see, the person I drew was my fanfic version of Steve Smith, where I can say whatever I want about him. You see, my version of Steve Smith is 18 years old. In fact, all of the characters I draw are 18 years old. Lois Griffin? According to her Wikipedia, she's 43. But that's Seth MacFarlane's Lois Griffin. My Lois Griffin is 18. Same with Meg. According to her Wikipedia, she's... Oh wow, 18. I thought she was younger. You see what I'm talking about? Going off someone's looks to perceive their age is a stupid way to go off by. It gives you free range to say anyone looks underage, no matter how many wrinkles or bald spots they have. There are real Asian women out there in their 30s who look fucking 16. So why can't us artists draw our fictional characters the way we want them to look like? Fuck you, Tumblr.
Creating new blogs or accounts with this same subject matter or content will result in immediate account termination.
Well, I made a new account and I'm still going to be posting tits and asses on it. I guess it's just a matter of time before I draw someone like Santa and Tumblr terminates my account thinking that was a minor.
This termination is final, and replies to this message are not reviewed. Tumblr trust and safety.
Now you might be saying something like, well, it's good that they are cracking down on drawings that show underage characters. That sort of content could give people the wrong impression to go out and commit real pedophilia. Well, by that logic, TV shows and movies need to stop showing murder and drugs. That's only gonna make people do these things in real life according to you. Like I said in one of my older videos, either all of it's okay or none of it's okay. And plus, this is Tumblr. If you think this site actually cares about the safety of children, then you are very mistaken. Tumblr is a site that promotes age fluidity. The belief that age is just a number and that a 38-year-old man can be an 8-year-old boy if he feels like it. Yeah. Oh, take your time, Tumblr, cracking down on actual fucking pedophiles on your platform. You literally gave me an email saying you don't allow inappropriate content with minors, but you'll let that shit carry on. And yeah, go ahead and promote kids to be non-binary and trans before they even hit 10 years old. Yeah, us artists who draw fictional characters with A cups are the ones who need to go. You go ahead and carry on your crusade to keep kids safe, while you praise Lactatia as a hero for the LGBT community. Give me a fucking break! Okay, this segment has been going on way longer than I wanted. But I urge you to do your own research on the matter. If you think Tumblr is the good guys in this scenario, the site is full of SJWs and communists. We artists usually stick to our own little part of Tumblr, not bothering the other freaks on that site. But before I end this segment and move on, I want to add one more thing about this whole subject. And that is the way a lot of sites try to protect kids. We live in an age where a lot of young people have seen more depraved porn than their own parents have. So long as the internet is as free as it is now, kids will always get their young little eyes on porn. Your stupid little "this Tumblr may contain sensitive media" bullshit isn't going to stop anyone. You even put the option to turn off safe mode in the message, as if you're like,
Sorry, little Timmy, you can't see this content. It's too pornographic for a young, growing boy like you. But if you sign up and turn off safe mode, you can see all of the sick and depraved shit you want.
Awesome!
this safe mode is pointless and only adds an extra step to get to the good stuff. You must be brain dead if you think little 8-year-old Timmy is going to heed your warning and go play Minecraft instead. Now, I believe there are some laws in place for adult websites to have a disclaimer before accessing the site. That's why I have one on my website. But just be honest at that point, Tumblr. This safe mode message isn't for protecting kids. And Tumblr is a site where the most illogical backwards thinking takes place. For Tumblr to try and crack down on artists who draw things that may be questionable to the general public, it's just hypocritical. And the way they're doing this is stupid and worthless. I guarantee you that every one of you watching this has went through a scenario like this.
Oh my goodness. Boo, bees. Oh, holy shit!
Hey Timmy, I just stopped by to give you this 5-inch sand. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Okay, maybe not that last part, but you know what I mean. Alright, that's enough on the rant. I'm done. This segment is over. Let's move on to the background picture. Now, in this picture, we're going back to the past and redrawing a scene to the Dragon Ball Z video I announced back in 2016. Yeah, it's been a very long time since AE Hentai and I first announced that video. So much time has passed that we decided to scrap the original idea. And I'm glad we did this because both of our skills have improved since then. And I think a parody as big as Dragon Ball needs to have a professional level of quality. You know what's odd? Usually, when it comes to these collaborations, I'm the one waiting on AE Hentai to finish his part of the project. But now AE and everyone else is waiting on me to finish my part. Hopefully we can see a 2018 release to this video and everyone will be happy with the way it turned out. I mentioned this before how I'm not a fan of anime, but I ended up binge watching Dragon Ball Super so I know how all the characters and backgrounds are drawn. It was interesting to see how much the show has changed over the years since I last watched it as a kid. One of the biggest changes I saw was how they totally broke one of the characters and turned him into one of the most badass figures of the show. Seriously, how is there not more fan art of this guy? He steals the show in every episode he's mentioned in. If you guys haven't figured it out yet, I'm talking about my little green nigga name?
Dende.
Kakarot, you have bested me for years. Well, no more! You now stand in the presence of a true Prince of Saiyans!
Man, shut up, Vegeta. You just a bitch.
Dende.
This planet is pitiful. I see no reason not to destroy it.
Hey, Cat, the only thing you about to destroy is my dick after I busted up your ass.
Dende.
Yo, little blue man, you know what time it is?
Oh no! Dende!
Aw, yeah, it's time.
Please, Dende, don't! Not again! I'll suck it all you want, just please. I'm still sore from the last time.
Dende. Something tells me that series is gonna end with Goku and Vegeta having to fight Dende. They just can't go any higher than him. Well, we spent enough time goofing around. I think it's time we get into the main topic of the video. This is going to be a little different from my other episodes. So last year I found out about something called Smash or Pass. There are a good amount of videos on Smash or Pass, and it gave me the idea to make my own video like that. But when I was writing the script to this video, I realized it would be better instead to give you my personal 5 cartoon women. Or waifus. Or fictional characters I'd like to do grown-up things with. Because in all honesty, let's be real, if I made a Smash or Pass video, I'd choose Smash on all of them. Now I know there were some videos out there that would call this the top something cartoon crushes, but that's a load of nonsense. Cyberspark, I'm looking at you. Top 10 cartoon crushes? Who are you fooling? You don't want to take these women out on a date, get to know them while you take them out to eat, play the guitar to them, and maybe if you're lucky get a kiss on the cheek at the end. Liar! All of you, lies! The only crushes you want are the ones you're giving those pussies when you're crushing it like it was Superman special.
I will pulverize you.
So my video isn't going to be like the others out there. It's going to be less romance, more fanfic. So let's begin.
This is SlappyFrog's top 5 women he faps to.
Maybe change the title so it's not so cringy next time, announcer guy. So anyway, this list will just be of 5 women who I find really hot in some way or another. But mainly, let's say it's because I would love to draw multiple pictures of these women. Like these women have just a drawable body that I would love to spend more time exploring. And yes, I do plan on drawing all of these women later on down the road. So let's start the list.
Number 8.
I think you meant to say number 5, announcer guy. Anyway, number 5 is Meg from Family Guy. Wait, hear me out. I know the show portrays her as this ugly abomination, but the way she's drawn isn't that bad. In fact, I think it was all that bullying she got that made me develop emotions for her. I used to watch Family Guy for the comedy. But when I saw how everyone was mistreating Meg, I developed some sort of pity feelings. Like I just thought it was wrong the way they made fun of her despite her not looking that bad. And yes, there are more attractive characters in that show. But I think the way Meg was neglected was what pointed her out amongst the other women. Now, as time went by, the show stopped making episodes with Meg in them. And now you're lucky to have even one episode where she even has a line of dialogue. It's just Stewie and Brian 24/7 now. On top of all of that, the episodes aren't even funny anymore. I stopped watching the show a while ago because of how boring and stupid the show has become. And since then, the emotions I once felt towards Meg has slowly went away. But I'm going to put her on my list anyway, because feelings or not, I would still love to her with my until I shoot my all over her.
Ew, you're sick. Did you really just say all that?
You're goddamn right I did!
I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. Let's move on to number 4.
Number 29.
What the fuck? Number 4 is Buttercup from the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
No, that's not what I meant.
Aww.
I'm not talking about Buttercup from the show. I mean the adult version Rule 34 artists like to draw. Growing up, I used to watch the Powerpuff Girls. The original show, before feminists got their hands on it, was really good. And everyone, regardless of your gender, loved that show. Now, back in those days, the concept that you could even have feelings for a fictional character was still new to me. I had zero interest in these characters sexually. Even Sarah Bellum was just a nobody to me. That is until I discovered the internet, and that changed everything. I found out about Pandaro's box and saw his adult version on the Powerpuff Girls, and that's when it dawned on me. Oh, now I want to fuck them. I think very shortly after, I stopped watching the show and spent more time looking at the adult versions of them. I would be alone in the house after school with only the internet for an hour, so I'm sure you can guess what I would do. As for Buttercup specifically, she strikes me as the type of chick who would get down to doing some sexy shit as opposed to the other two. I can totally see her fucking on the first date.
I'm more of a fan of Bubbles.
Wow, you wanna fuck Bubbles? Because I can make that happen.
No, I'm just a fan, you filthy little creature.
Let's move on to the next one.
Number Q.
Number 3 is Summer from Rick and Morty. Now I have to admit, when I first saw the trailers and commercials to the show, I didn't think it was going to be as big as it is now. I even hated the art style, so I ignored it for quite some time. But then I was bored one night and was like, fine, whatever, let's see what all this hype is about. And after watching a few episodes, I was impressed. It's a pretty good show, and noticing how they really like to show off Summer's ass really got me hooked.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
So now I'm a fan of the show. Not crazy obsessed with it like some other people are, but a big enough fan that I wouldn't mind making a comic or an X-rated video of. Who knows, I might even do that soon. And maybe I'll ditch Steve and be the one who fucks her instead.
Our pee-pees are touching.
What? That's not how you have sex?
Just stick to Steve. No one wants to see you doing that sort of stuff.
You know, Zoe, you're acting like a real bitch. Okay, now you're just being an asshole, announcer guy. Well, number 2 is Velma from Scooby-Doo. Now, just like before, when I watched the show as a kid, I had zero sexual interest. It wasn't until I discovered Rule 34 that I realized just how hot Velma was. I mean, who knew underneath that sweater was some of the biggest tits you've ever seen? I mean, just look at Tim Bitties! Now, even though she is someone I want to draw, I try to keep Velma off my radar because I think a lot of people would rather see me draw other women instead. So I try to keep that part of my mind on a leash. Otherwise I would just be drawing Velma every week, and I wouldn't want to flood the internet with only Velma pictures. But I'll be sure to draw at least one picture of her each year if I get the chance. Maybe 2. 3. You know, recently I tried watching some of the newer episodes of Scooby-Doo, but wow, that show has changed. I never realized just how annoying Scooby and Shaggy could be.
Like, look here, Scoob. We have to eat our leafy green vegetables, brush our teeth, and go to bed at a reasonable hour, dude. And look, for some reason, here comes John Cena.
Stay in school, kids.
Okay, fuck this. It's best to watch that show with the audio turned off.
Hey, did you know I found this video of you and Velma at a bar?
What do you mean? How?
She had a brief cameo back in your first episode, remember? You followed her after the show and there's a video of what happened.
Hey. 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 Are you from Tennessee? 'Cause you're the only one I see. Nailed it. Alright, let's get to number 1. I said let's get to number 1. Hello? Whatever. So the number 1 on my list is Raven from Teens. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Number 1.
Yeah. Raven from Teen Titans. I guess this one would be the closest to having a legitimate crush on a fictional character. Because with everyone on my list, there is no actual love or the fantasies of romance. They're fictional characters, and I'm a guy who draws imaginary people having sex. I can jump right over that mushy shit and hop right into some cartoon pie. But with Raven, there was a little more to it. Just something about her really made me think more about love. But then I started seeing how it looked like a Raven and Beast Boy relationship was going to happen. So I decided to stop watching it and spent more time with the Rule 34 Raven instead. You know, I have a strange conspiracy theory about the show's cancellation. I think it got cancelled because I wasn't the only one who had feelings for the women in that show. Either it be Raven, Starfire, Jinx, whoever, every boy my age at the time had feelings for at least one of these after-school snacks. So when the show started giving each of these women boyfriends, it upset a lot of young people, and they decided to stop watching the show because of it. So if my theory is right, probably not, let that be a lesson to all of you guys working at Cartoon Network or Nick. Don't give your female characters boyfriends. It's crazy to see after so many years since its cancellation, the women in that show still get a ton of love on Rule 34. I have a particular fond of an artist by the name of Raven. This guy does an amazing job drawing all the Titan girls. When I eventually get to drawing Raven again, I plan on drawing it in his art style. That guy may not be interested in drawing hardcore Titan sex, but I am. Well, that ends my personal list of fictional babes. I know this was different from my other episodes, but I think this went really well. Now before I end this, I want to give off a short list of honorable mentions. Just a few women who didn't make the cut, but came really close.
That list was so sad.
Oh, okay, Zoe. You know what? How about you tell me who your favorite crush is?
Well...
Go on!
Davy Malloy.
Him? Why?
He's tall...
And
long.
Okay.
Beefy.
Zoe, you're scaring me.
Draw me with him!
Ugh, thanks Zoe's friend. Well, that's gonna do it for SlappyVlog. Another episode that went on way too long. I hope you guys enjoyed all the weirdness we went through today, and I hope you will consider supporting me over on Patreon. These videos and drawings take a lot of time and work to finish, and I'm going to need you guys to help me keep all this going. So please drop a few dollars my way. And I always put links in the description to ways you can follow me so you don't miss out on what I'm currently working on. So if you have a question for me, Zoe, or the cow,
the what?
Be sure to post it in the comments so we can answer it in the next video. Well, this has been Slappyfrog saying, I love being an artist! Woo! Come on, Saber Spark, let's go see where our imagination takes us.